Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Noisy Neighbours podcast. Special episode, the Real Madrid first leg preview with my brother. I'm sure you're really looking forward to it, like everyone is. Not. I'm joking.
Yeah, mixed
We've got to
feelings.
do it. We've got to do it. I know we touched on it the other week, Christian. We've got to get into this. It's a massive game, and I can't wait to hear what you think is going to happen, what you would do, and how you think you're going to get past these.
Yeah,
So let's get straight into it. First leg of the playoff round. Is that what they're calling it?
yeah, I
To
believe
get
so.
into the round of 16, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the one.
So tomorrow night, first leg's at home. So there's no away goals, is there still? There's no away goals in this.
No, I presume it's just the same as what it's been in the
Just
past.
the same format as that. Okay, so we think that we could probably pick Real Madrid's team. Admittedly, I don't know what's going on with their injuries. I'm just looking at their team from the weekend, and I saw the highlights of their game against Atletico. The defense looks a bit mad, if I'm being honest. I believe Rudiger's injured, which is good for you, obviously. What are you thinking going in? I know you've not been in great form. Arsenal was a shocker, and Leyton Orient was a shocker as well.
Yeah,
How are you feeling going into tomorrow, Christian?
absolutely shocking. Absolutely shocking. I don't think many City fans would go into this and say they're confident. I mean, if they are, I'd love to have a conversation and ask them why, and maybe I can say some fucking positives. Because at the moment, I feel like I need a Valium. Honestly, I'm panicking, and the meme I'm quoting as well.
Yeah.
Honestly, yeah, I am worried because, like you say, the last couple of matches, that the level we've shown is not been good enough. The effort all year and the squad itself doesn't look up to it. So I think it's going to be against this Real Madrid team, which we have seen notoriously shows up, and they're in quite good form, by the way, as well. They're a team full of athletes. It's it could quite easily be a very long night for Man City.
I suppose I'll probably hit you with a few questions, and
Yeah.
you've touched on the physicality deficit, which I think is fairly obvious, unless there's something we've not seen from some of the City players, and the transition weakness that City have shown all season. Christian, how can you stop the transition with Rodrigo, Vinicius, Mbappe, and sort of Bellingham as the link? How can you stop that? Tell me what you're thinking. If you was in the coaching setup with City, how would you stop? How would you try and contain that?
Well, it's the $1 million question, isn't it? But ultimately, we've never been able to stop it, even at our best, if I'm being honest with you. So you're now looking at a team that has underperformed all year, that's been slapped about by lower league Premier League sides, and you're asking that same question. I don't think, in all honesty, we can stop them. I just think we've got to somehow try and match them at the other end. I believe, look, you've got to play a midfield that has to compete. So the midfielders that we have seen this year, we've seen the rotation of KDB, Gundo, Bernardo, Cover. Don't get me wrong, I know some of them are going to have to play, but you're going to have to, hopefully Gonzalez can come in. I don't know what level we're going to get with him because all I've seen of him is what we spoke about so far, him falling over and not fancying it. I swear to God, I tell you what, if that version of him turns up again, I would rather have Bernardo than that because at least he fucking tries. But yeah, you've got to have some legs in there that at least helps with the transition. In my opinion, I don't know what yours would be on this. I would personally go Gonzalez. I believe Kovacic has to play. And then you're in a bit of a situation because I think if you play Foden there, we're going to get overrun. I think if you play De Bruyne there, you've got the advantage that the guy is capable of randomly getting 2-3 assists.
Yeah.
But you are also going to have to accept you are carrying a luxury and we are also going to get overrun. So it's a bit of a weird one. Or do you do a complete wild card and throw in a bit of a mad one and be like, well, Jack Grealish is a guy who would have good control in midfield. He can carry the ball. He can win fouls. And he is, at the end of the day, he has got high energy levels. So it's what do you do? Do you throw a John Stones in there? There's a lot of different ideas. What would you do personally? I'd be interested to hear yours.
I would play Oh God, it's fucking hard.
Yeah,
I'm a
I
little bit
think.
torn. I'm leaning towards this, which will not happen, by the way. I'm leaning towards Gundogan, Kovacic, Gonzalez, flat midfield three, Foden, De Bruyne, Haaland as my front three. I think is what I'm
I
thinking,
like that. Yeah, I do actually like
and
it.
because I'm thinking about it right, Bernardo's not offering much as it is, and he's not physically the player he used to be. You're not getting the 12 kilometers a game.
Yeah,
You keep De Bruyne in, who and you also have some protection for him. He's in the front three.
yeah,
I'm a bit confused of where I would position him because you have got to give him a position. It has to be sort of on the left, but De Bruyne is that good of a player. Inside left, inside right, does it fucking matter with the guy? If
yeah,
anything, it opens up the inside game, and he's a great shooter, so I wouldn't worry about that because I don't want to put Foden out there. Foden's got to play on the right,
yeah,
and then you've got Gundogan, and I've not seen enough of Nico Gonzalez. I'm just picking him because I think he's better than what you've got, just
yeah,
generally. I'm picking it because I think he's probably do better than Bernardo Silva there.
yeah,
And I think you've got three midfielders there, and you can always have two protecting the counter. And I think that's the key here because if so they're going to have three on the counter attack. They're all rapid and they're all pretty good in the final third.
yeah,
You need to make sure that you're not getting 3-on-4 or 4-on-5s consistently with them four that we're looking at, which is Bellingham, Vinicius, Rodrigo, and Mbappe. Assuming they go with them four, Rodrigo might miss out, but I'm not sure. I think he might think, well, this is my opportunity to win 3-0 or 3-1. You've got to make sure that if Bellingham turns and breaks, you have got five at least. So that's your back four. But then because of your fullbacks, at least if you've got three and then two midfielders, you then have five. At least you have numerical advantage on those counter attacks. If he plays Bernardo and De Bruyne, either side of Kovacic, my good God, honestly, Bellingham will be roaming through there, getting it to them three, and it'll be fucking 4-0. Honestly.
yeah. Alex, seriously, we are at serious risk of a bloodbath. If he goes in and he
Yeah.
thinks he can do that, oh my God, I'm telling you, it is going to be
Well, I suppose there's two
it's not
questions
going to
there,
be a
Chris.
long evening. It'll be a long first half because it will be a demolition job.
You've got, this is the thing as well. On that left hand side, who the fuck's playing right back, Christian?
Yeah, this right. So I've been thinking about this all day. I was driving about today, and I was thinking this myself, and I was thinking, right, the only option is you either go John Stones at right back, or you go Rico Lewis. Personally, I don't think there's another option. Here's my back line. Okay, so I decided on Stones. This is dependent on fitness. I do believe all the players I am saying are actually fit from what
Yeah.
I've read. So I'd go John Stones right back. I'd go Diaz. I'd go Ake as your two centre backs. I'd go Gvardiol at left back. By the way, you know my opinion on his defensive ability, but I don't think we've got anything else. So it is what it is. We've got to roll him out there. At least he is a goal threat as well, to be fair.
Yeah.
Now, midfield, eventually, yeah, I was humming and ahhing. I was like, what do you go with? Eventually, I did decide on Kovacic, Gonzalez, and De Bruyne.
Yeah.
And then I put Foden, Marmoush, and Haaland up top.
Yeah.
But listen, it is with the reason I went with that, because I know you're going to say you're going to get less in midfield, and I do like yours, to be honest, and I can see why you went with it. I just think with yours, you're not going to get much tracking from Kevin De Bruyne playing as like part of the front line. Because, we've seen this year, he can't even track in midfield.
Yeah.
So at least if you play...
I'd like to think that wouldn't be a problem if he's in the front three, which is I'm trying to get him out of the way a little bit. And he's not that bad. It's not like he can't run, but yeah, I know what you mean. I don't know what they're going to play. Look, I think if they play Valverde and Camavinga and Bellingham, I would be very worried if you are going. If De Bruyne is playing middle, you're going to end up with a 3v2 in there of Bellingham, Camavinga, Valverde against Kovacic and Nico Gonzalez. You're going to end up with 3v2 a lot because De Bruyne is going to be high up. He's going to be putting crosses in and he ain't going to be tracking back. And even if he is, Camavinga, Bellingham and Valverde are better physically than
Oh
De
God, yeah, they're
Bruyne.
absolute athletes. Listen,
So
I don't.
I'm really, I'm
The only
really
thing is with
concerned.
them, I don't see that playing De Bruyne possibly out of position goes in our favour
Yeah,
because
but
I
he's
believe
so
we're going to
good.
get overrun whoever we put there. So
Potentially, yeah. I mean, look, this is
should
the
we
thing.
just?
Well, I tell you what, what's Pep gonna do? Because that me and you ain't picking the team. Maybe unfortunately, we'll see how it goes. Pep Guardiola's cleverer than us. What is Pep gonna do? Is he gonna do what I said he shouldn't? I mean,
Honestly, what will Pep do? I can see him
surely not
possibly doing a
Christian.
similar midfield. I could possibly see a John Stones coming into midfield in this
Right.
game.
But you mean Stones plays in a back four and steps in, or Stones is
No,
playing centre mid and the back?
I legit think he could come into midfield. Yeah.
Right. It's not bad. I mean, it did work well for you but again, you can't look back 2 years ago. It's very difficult. I think if he lines up, he's not gonna do that. He will not do that. Pep. He will not play Bernardo, De Bruyne, and Kovacic. He will not do it. And if he does do they are going to be on that counter attack. I mean, Christian, they are going to have 4v4s every 5 fucking minutes.
Yeah, mate. Listen, I'm not very
I
hopeful
mean,
based on what I've seen this year. We have ultimately struggled against teams that can counter attack. These are the ultimate steroid pumped up version of our worst nightmare. So
yeah,
do I think it bodes well for us? No, but
Hmm.
I just think look, we have got top class attacking
yeah,
players. You've also got to try and stay in the tie. Look, I mean, the
yeah,
burnabout is very fucking difficult. Even when we were at our best,
yeah.
we did we ever win there? I don't off the top of my head, I don't think we did. In fact, did we
Hmm.
win once? I think we might have won once. Weirdly, when Jesus scored, actually, I think we might have won once.
Potentially, yeah.
But anyway, look, it is a very, very difficult place to
You
go.
don't want to go there having to win, is what you're saying, yeah,
Yeah, pretty much.
yeah.
Like
I
if you
mean,
can
this is
somehow cobble a victory, amazing. It is
yeah,
worth adding. Look, I don't want to gas these up too much because they've not been that great.
mm,
They've picked up in form recently. They've
yeah,
been kind of solid in La Liga. I think they probably will win it in the end. It'll be them or Barca.
yeah.
But yeah, it's going to be an interesting battle tomorrow
Mm.
night.
It's one of them, innit? I mean, it's like a good boxing analogy is styles make fights, and this is a very,
It
very
ultimately is, yeah.
specific matchup, and unfortunately, doesn't on paper doesn't look like it's going to benefit you.
Yeah.
I do take your point. I do think that you have got goals in the team. You've got creativity. They've not got. I mean, I'm just looking at Tchouaméni started centre back at weekend. Admittedly, I don't know how good or bad Tchouaméni's been there. If he's been great, apologies. I'm sure we're gonna if we're seeing Tchouaméni against Haaland, I want De Bruyne whipping crosses in every fucking time he gets the ball. Uh,
Yeah, that is worth mentioning, Alex. I think Rudiger out is a huge miss for
yeah,
that
it
one.
is.
And to be fair, I
Yeah,
think he misses both legs as well.
yeah. I
So
mean, can you limit the transitions because if they're on transition, they're going to be successful because the players are better than what we have in the Prem for the most part. I mean, you probably say they're better than every single team, probably except Liverpool's. So when you look at Bournemouth sort of having success against City's lack of transition defence, now you're thinking, right, okay, well, we have to limit those opportunities because we can't roll the dice and hope Mbappe, Vinny, and Rodrigo and Bellingham fuck it up more times than not because you need to be thinking, how do we stop it? And look, you can play, like you said, if you play your team, you've still got two midfielders. You've still got Gonzalez and Kovacic. If they can just play, it's more of a 4-2-3-1, I guess. With De Bruyne as a 10 and two, I won't say sitting, but you know what I mean.
yeah,
I would feel better than that. I mean, yeah, I think there's that, and then you've got a base to build off, and hope Mamouche plays well because Mamouche is the luxury here, isn't he? Because you're playing him to basically pen them in at the other end.
yeah, effectively. I
It's
think look,
tricky.
this is Marmoush's game because he's had a bit of a tough start. We've seen little
Mm,
flashes of why we've paid the money for him, but ultimately he has missed chances and he
mm,
hasn't been that great. So you've got to take the ball by the horns here. You've got to come in. You've got to drop a big performance in this match.
yeah,
I think. Listen, our only chance is going at them as well. Personally, I don't like the idea of just saying, "Oh well, let's just try and stop them," because if by some miracle that game ended 0-0, we're still going out of the Bernabeu, so there's no point. You've got to try and win at the
You've got to
Etihad.
go there with a win, yeah.
You've got to go and win, mate. So at the end of the day, I think the biggest position or biggest positional fear for me is where we've seen Matis Nunes at right back. Now, I'm telling you, if Pep has an absolute heads gone and he thinks that we can afford to play that guy there against Vinny.
Oh, Vinny, yeah. It's another really bad match.
I'd sooner play Lewis, Stones. What would you do in terms of for me? Nunes isn't even in the question, and if he is, fuck me, we are in trouble. What would you do? Would you go Stones or would you go Lewis right back?
Oh God!
Oh, your reaction's just not. It's not making me happy.
What about Kanji? Right back, gets him out of the way.
God.
And he's a little bit of a better athlete.
When you're talking about getting him out of the way, I'd rather him be outside the fucking ground. That's what my version of get him out of the way this year means.
I don't know, mate. I don't like the idea of Stones there, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, I know. Do you know what, Lewis? There's a case for Lewis, isn't there? But
can you get that Kyle Walker back on loan for tonight?
Oh God, I know.
In it mad like where you just have that sort of trump card every single game like this. Oh, we got Walker.
I know he'd have got himself up for it as well. It's a bit of a bastard that, but
yeah, I'd say that's really a bad one. And centre mid, I think centre mid and right back. The rest isn't too bad because you can hurt them. I mean, fuck me, they're not rock solid without Rudiger. Which goalkeeper are you playing?
Oh, well, it's one of them, innit? Flip of a coin, lad. Who knows what he's going to do? I'd say Edison in a game like that. I'd say just experience alone. He's been there, he's done it. I mean, you've got to go with Edison.
Yeah. Oh God, I can't wait for tomorrow. We're doing a watch along, aren't we? So it should be absolutely class. I don't see how this game cannot be good. I'm sorry, unless in fairness he did do the team I did. So sorry to everyone if he does go with that team. Might stink the gaff out a bit, but might keep the score down. That's all I'm thinking. Guardiola ain't going to do it, is he? He ain't going to play a flat midfield three and leave out Bernardo and Marmoush.
Yeah, but at the same thing, Alex, he could do because at the end of the day, we went to Arsenal and we saw him go attacking and we saw how it ended.
Yeah. Who was the team? So it was he left De Bruyne out, didn't he?
Yeah, but the midfield was so fucking attacking. So I'm not too sure. I don't think he would do that again. I certainly think he'd be more err on the side of caution, and I could see him more going with your lineup rather than possibly mine. But who knows?
I think he's going to play. I think Guardiola will play. It's hard because I don't know about Gonzalez, but I'll have Gonzalez or Gundogan, whoever plays. I don't know. He's going to go Foden on the left, De Bruyne in number 10, and Bernardo on the right, and Haaland up top. That is what Guardiola is going to do. He ain't gonna leave out Bernardo or De Bruyne, and he can't play them both in centre mid because he's not that stupid. So that's his way of doing it. I would not do that. I don't think Bernardo is enough of a threat, and I think Foden is reduced on the left. And I also think De Bruyne as a 10. I don't even love that from the standpoint that I'd rather De Bruyne on the right if you're doing that, honestly. I just don't think putting De Bruyne around Camavinga is worth it.
I think De Bruyne, the advantage of having De Bruyne in a more free role, like what you were saying, pushing him further up the pitch, is you're going to get him in them positions where he can put them inside right channel balls in, which, like you said, if Rudiger's not playing, there's definitely a case for that, man, because Haaland is going to be a fucking nuisance. I mean, I know, someone could possibly come in here and say Tchouaméni's good at centre-back. Well, he's not, is he? Because he's not a fucking centre-back, so I don't really care if he's had one or two good games. And by the way, he might not have. He might have stunk the fucking gaff out. But my point is, if you put Haaland up against him, Haaland's going to surely got to fancy it. So's Marmoush. You've got to fancy it. If you're the big boys, which Haaland is Marmoush? That's the question. Is he going to fancy it tomorrow night? Because he fucking should do. Not only that, isn't Vasquez out injured? I saw that last night.
Is he? He played at the weekend, but I don't know if he got injured.
Yeah, apparently he's fucked.
So who is the? I mean, is it Brahim Diaz at right back then?
What? Oh my God, I don't even think Pep would do that. Really. That's centre attack.
I'm just looking. Well, he came on at the weekend. Bless me. Yeah. So, because then Ceballos. Is that Danny Ceballos? That's wild.
Oh, it'll be him.
What, Ceballos at right back?
I reckon so. Yeah, I could see
Right.
that.
Okay. And then Rodrigo came off of Modric. Shout out Modric. Arda Güler's on the bench. He's a very good player. Phil Mendy's left back. Does he not start? He might be starting.
Unless they just go like like a general defender at the back, I'm not too sure. I think they've left very short though.
Camavinga didn't play at the weekend. I would imagine him and Valverde are going to play.
So just to clear up, Alex, would you go Marmoush? Did you say Marmoush left, or did you say leave Marmoush out?
I would leave Marmoush out, and I think Guardiola will leave Marmoush out.
Yeah,
I,
yeah. I wouldn't bet against it based on. I think Guardiola doesn't like to ramp it up on players, and I think the pressure's going to be building on him.
Yeah.
I think he'll probably take him out of the firing line and put someone in.
I mean, there's so many decisions to make. I mean, the back four and the goalkeeper, there's 5 decisions. I mean, look, Diaz will play, so sorry, I'll take him out. And, well, Gavardio will play by default. But the other centre-back and the right-back, and then your centre-mids, I mean, God, look, that's why he's paid whatever he's paid and we're not. But
dude, this is probably one of the most difficult games to preview, right? Because Guardiola, we do not know what team he's going to play, and I mean, we don't know what defense, we don't know what forwards, we don't know what midfield. I mean, could you say that? Could you say that for many teams in many big games? Could you say I don't know who's going to start in any position apart from? Because, dude, would it really surprise? The only player I am concrete on playing that game is there's 2 actually, Kovacic and Haaland, because the rest of them, through injury, fitness, or whatever, or rotation, we genuinely don't know whether they're going to play. So
I'd say Foden. I would chuck Foden in there, but yeah.
Yeah, I suppose, but he didn't know to leave him out a few times. So
it's mad. It's going to be a wild game. I mean, I can't wait for the starting 11s, to be honest. But
it'll be interesting. Yeah, we're going to go live. I think as soon as we get the starting 11s and you get round here, we'll live, man.
Anybody watching, please jump on the stream tomorrow. It should be great fun. And
join the pray along.
Yeah, the pray along. Yeah. If anybody saw me against Southampton, it might reach those levels. At least it'll be Mbappe, Vinny, and Rodrigo and Bellingham. It's not that.
Well, you say at least though, yeah, but they fortunately were letting you off the hook. Them 3 won't, and I'll just be in tears. I'll be sat there shaking with my rosary beads.
Yeah. So, come on, what's your prediction for the first leg?
Yeah, listen. I'm not going to be tempted in by silliness of saying, "Oh, my heart says this." I'm just going to be honest and say Real Madrid 3-1.
3-1.
Yeah. I just think ultimately it's a bad time. It's a bad matchup. We're going to struggle, mate. That's it. That's my...
Okay. I'll go... God. I don't know. Yeah, I'm leaning towards something similar. 3-2. If City have an insane night, 3-3, and it's one of the best games of the season... Yeah, I'll go 3-2, but if the City fans and the Etihad can wrap something up and you get a good start, I wouldn't put it against a 3-3 or something mental. I think you had a crazy 4-3 game, didn't you? When Benzema did that Panenka, that was amazing. So hey, let's hope the boys deliver because it's going to be great. I know it's tough for you, but I am a neutral and we are doing a watch along. So like I said, please, if you're watching this, jump on the stream. It'd be great. So yeah, let's 8 p.m. kickoff tomorrow, Christian.
Definitely, yeah. Hope any of you guys that are listening can make it. It'll be a good one, trust me. So yeah, come on, City.
Definitely. Yeah, I can't wait. It's going to be a great game.
Awesome.
So yeah, right. Thanks, Christian. I'm going to see you tomorrow. We're going to get the watch along up. It's going to be great fun. Thanks everyone for listening. See you tomorrow, guys.